Hey, welcome back to the garage. Doing an install video today on one of those GPS, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto units. I had a company contact me at the beginning of the year or earlier on in the year asking me if I'd be interested in fitting one, doing a promo. I wasn't really interested. I'm only interested in something that I'm going to actually use. Just because I'm going to be giving it for free doesn't mean I'm just going to take it for the sake of it. Anyway, another company a few months ago contacted me. Aoocci, 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 maybe. I'm just guessing on that. Anyway, we're not going to put it onto the 1290. I fancy putting it onto the 690. So just giving it a little wipe down. It's not been out for a while. Like, I'm a bit late to the market with these. There's plenty of YouTubers that have already had these probably for a couple of months. So you may have already seen them, but this one is their latest C6 Pro. It comes with TPMS sensors, it comes with a wired remote, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, it's got GPS and front and rear metal Sony cameras. The bracket is no longer plastic, it is a metal bracket with security fixings. The unit is hardwired in, there's no separate plug on the back of it. The C5, the C6 and the C9 now comes as standard with a branded 64 gig memory card. They've sent me this box free of charge. They've just asked me to implement the upgrades, which I've just done, and pretty much I can say what I want. So let's get on and get this fitted. They've updated the packaging on these. They also come with now a branded memory card, 64 gig memory card. So you've got a 6.25 inch screen. Also comes with a handlebar mount, so remote, so you don't have to touch the screen all the time. A visor. Oh, and there's a front and rear cameras. Loads of different mounting options there. Power cable. What seems to be like RAM mounts. And more cables. So we're going to fit all that on the 690. Now you can get some kind of box, I can't remember what it's called now, firebox or something, that sits on the battery that you can plug all your accessories in. It knows when the battery's not being charged, it will automatically turn off. Behind here you've got two accessories, accessory ignition live and a permanent live, so you can plug the heated grips in. I'm not fitting heated grips at the moment, so I'm going to fit straight to the accessory socket on there, so I know as soon as you turn the ignition off it's going to turn off. Same as on the 1290, you got two behind this panel here, a live and ignition live, and you've got another two behind the seats. Less waffle from me and let's get on with it. So as you may have seen previously, I had an SP Connect mounted up here. I've already took that off. So I want to disconnect the headlight and to get to those accessory sockets. Two Torx 30s. That's the headlight out of the way. Right after that little kerfuffle, they're all tucked right at the very back. So they're here, accessory 1, accessory 2. So I'm going to send the power cable through here. We've got the fuse. All this wiring is going to go behind the headlight. Accessory 1. I'm going to change these terminals for spades. See if we can just get it connected for the time being, just to find out which one's live. Okay, accessory 1 is permanent live, which we don't want. So I'll pull them out there. So we've got accessory 2, it's the live. I've just cut these sleeves down a little bit because they're just a bit too long. So that's it with the heat shrinks on. So now change those terminals, put the spade puns in there, tucked them away, and accessory 2, got them on a live. Now I want to try and get this tidied up a little bit. So next I'm going to try and install the front and rear cameras. Now I was led to believe there was like a front and rear, but these are exactly the same. Two Sony 322 cameras and the cables are the same. So I'm just going to hook them up and see what happens on the display. So I'm going to attach the bracket onto the back of the unit with these little rubber bushings here. Now for the time being I'm just going to mount it up here. So I won't have that one there. That's for the remote. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with that yet. Not even too sure whether I want to fit it. I'm going to want to have it around here somewhere. So I might have to fashion some kind of bracket or something along those lines. Right then, let's power up and test these cameras. So that's labelled as front and this for rear. So let's just fire it up and have a look. There, you probably can't see it because it's shine actually. So move it down. There you go, got my logo on there. It powers up, front and rear. So you just swipe from, so it's the rear, that's the front, and you've got a mixture of the two. And they swap around. Well, that's where the front one's going. You'd think there's a lot of room in there, but there isn't. So you need some space around the sides here so you can get the headlight bracket back in. Now for wiring the back. So I think I'm going to take those panels off there, route it around with a harness, and then possibly bring it down at the bottom of the number plate. So let's get on with it. So it comes with a couple of extensions. Obviously you're going to need them depending on how big your bike is. Go follow it around the breather pipe. There's a groove already set in on the fuel tank. So we're just going to follow that. A little bit more involved than I was expecting, if truth be told. And we should be able to. I'm in the way there. Where the harness goes through for the rear light, is there enough room to push it through the grommet? Let's have a go at undoing those. That might give me a little bit more room there. Here's me thinking that was a fixed bracket. So that's the rear plastics back on, light bracket back in place. Probably what we're going to do, fit that camera just underneath there. See if it's going to be a good enough angle so you get some good view. Wanted to try and put it under here, but the number plate light's there and there's just nowhere for it. Didn't want to put it up here. I don't want it sort of like sitting up there and couldn't put it on the side. So let's get the rest of the plastics on and then we'll have a play around with the settings. Not too sure what I'm going to do about the controller. That's got to mount up there somewhere. I don't know about that yet. That's going to be an afterthought. We'll leave that till later. Let's get it all back together. So we have the installation all done. Well, wiring is sorted, all connectors are in place. The only thing I haven't done is attach the wired, there we go, attach the wired remote. I just really don't know where I want to put that. I'm gonna have to make some kind of bracket. It comes with a bracket that fits onto there, but I just don't like it. I have to fashion up some kind of metal bracket that I can put down here or up here or whatever, but we'll have to see. Pairing your phone, well, you just need to go over to CarPlay. I've already paired my phone, that's really easy. It's just like pairing anything else. So if you go down to here, it's the Bluetooth, pair your phone, either Android Auto or Apple iPhone. Just look for that name and it'll connect. It is pretty simple. This is the main home page, driving recorder. So you've got your front and rear cameras and you can split them however you like. You've got different settings down here. It automatically starts recording, so you can take a snapshot, lock the screen, turn the sound on and off because it's got sound. So, you know, if you have anything happen in front of you, it should be able to record the sound. That just goes back to your previous files that you can bring up very quickly. All your settings, resolution, recording, all that kind of thing. The one thing that I have noticed, and you can't do it, is the mileage. It's in kmh. There's no setting on there for adjusting it to mph. I've been in touch with the guy that I've been dealing with, collaborated that. Unfortunately, at the moment, there's no way of changing that to mph, which obviously here and in the US, that's going to be maybe a little bit of an issue. It'll be a niggle for me because I do want it in mph. But that's something that we can overlook. Also, software updates aren't available for it yet. I don't know how you'll go about doing a software update. Hopefully that'll come forward. So that's the only negatives I can see at the moment. I do plan on going out for a ride, even though it's freezing cold outside. But I have put my gloves on. So I have 2 pairs of gloves. These are RST shorties, quite thick, but without any issue, you can access all what you need to. Fairly simple. It picks your fingers up very well, so I am quite pleased with that. I did have a little concern on that. Also, on the C6 Series Pro, you do have TPMS, tire pressure monitoring, available on there. So you can set them up, fit them to your wheels, but I have noticed that they do read slightly low. So on the 690 it should be 33 front, 36 rear. They're actually reading 31 front, 34 rear. So, and I did hear that before, that they read just slightly out, but that's you know, as long as you take your tyre pressures often enough, it doesn't really make a difference. One thing to remember, and if you use Android Auto and Apple CarPlay regularly in your car, you are going to realise that your battery is going to deplete very quickly on your phone. So you're still going to have to, at some point, have your phone on charge. And don't mind, either have a battery bank in your pocket, or what I may do, even though I don't like the clutter on here so much, I may put my SP Connect back on there and use the bike's USB to keep my phone powered up. But that's something to play around with in the future. I'm going to reposition this as well a little bit lower, but you know, that's the thing. Everything is installed, everything is working, like I said, apart from the remote. Now, less waffle and let's actually get on the road and try it out. So at the moment I've just put it onto the rear camera. Just to get a rear view, like having a rear view mirror. It's a bit wobbly, but then again it's on the number plate, so to be expected. Image wise, not too bad. Works well. See what you're doing. Yeah, just come on out, mate. Bell end. So predominantly I like to use Waze. So I use CarPlay a lot in the car, so that, you know, it's not a new feature, it's just what I already know. But all seems well. It's quite a decent position. Ooh, he says. Like I may have said before, what you're going to have to do is keep your phone on charge, because if you're constantly using CarPlay, streaming music, and more so navigation, it's going to kill your phone battery. So some way, shape or form, you're going to have to keep it charged. I don't like too much clutter on here. It's okay if you've got an adventure bike, I think, because obviously you've got all that stuff that's around you. But here, where it's quite open, I mean, if I put the SP Connect back here and put my phone back here on there, I can charge it off the USB on the bike. But it just might look a bit too cumbersome. I'll have to see. We'll trial and error. There, down there, you see it. It's in kilometres. There's no way of changing that at the moment. I have been onto them, and it's being passed on to their engineering team. So that's going to conclude my little ride. Wow, that was a loud beep. That's wifey messaging me. Jesus. Mind you, I haven't got my earplugs in, so I do have the volume on here turned up loud. So there we have it. That concludes that little ride and the Aoocci Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, dash cam, smart screen, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, that's all fitted. Really happy with it. It works really well. If you want to go to the website, aoocci.com, if you put in there Robbie22, that'll give you a 22% discount using my code. That's Robbie22. I hope you've enjoyed this. Take care, ride safe.